Welcome back to Lucid Science. This week, we'll be looking at how bee pollination improves crop quality, shelf life, and commercial value, a study done by Bjorn et al. In 2014. First, let's go over some pollination terms. The stigma is the part of the flower that receives pollen during pollination. This pollen is held on the anther, which is propped up to promote the spread of sticky pollen particles. Pollination occurs when pollen from an anther is transferred to the stigma on the same or different flower. This fertilizes the recipient flower and allows a fruit to begin growing. Lastly, an achene is the hard seed structure that exists on the outside of the fruit. The hard part of a sunflower seed that you have to break open to get the soft nut inside, that's an achene. On a strawberry, it's the small seeds that you see on the outside. Okay, I think we're ready, so let's get into it. Pollination is an important step in food production, improving the amount produced by each plant and contributing to 1/3 of global crop production, but its true benefits are unknown. Bjorn et al. Set out to study these benefits in order to illustrate the need for improved policy. As the world population increases, agricultural production must grow alongside it. But with pollinators disappearing at an alarming rate due to excessive pesticide use, meeting demands for production is becoming more difficult. Bjorn et al. Used strawberries to investigate how bee pollination affected crop quality and shelf life, as well as calculated the commercial value of produce pollinated through various methods. 3 pollination methods were used to determine which exhibits the most benefits. First was self-pollination. Here, strawberry buds were covered with semi-permeable plastic bags that allowed for air exchange, but prevented pollination from other plants. Second was wind pollination. For this treatment, mesh bags were placed over the buds, allowing pollen to pass through, but preventing bees from reaching the flowers. Third was bee pollination. The buds were not covered for this treatment, and bees from an established colony nearby were allowed to fly from flower to flower, pollinating plants as they went along. Bjorn et al. Hypothesized that 1. Bee-pollinated fruits would have more fertilized achenes or seeds, due to more successful pollination by bees as compared to wind or self-pollination. 2. Bee-pollinated fruits would have higher commercial value, due to the uniform growth that occurs when more achenes are fertilized. 3. Bee-pollinated fruits would have longer shelf lives, and 4. They would show a more intense red color. Let's look at the results to determine whether they were right. In Figure 3, it can be seen that flowers fertilized by bees had a higher rate of success as compared to wind or self-pollination. In Figure 2, bee-pollinated strawberries have an overall longer shelf life and exhibit a more intense red color. It seems they are correct on all accounts. So how does this affect the commercial value of strawberries and bring benefits to farmers and consumers alike? First, let's look at how Bjorn et al. Ranked the fruits for their value. The highest grade, grade extra or 1, was given to fruits with little to no deformations, small areas of green or yellow, and an acceptable diameter of 18 millimeters or more. Grade 2 fruits had distinct deformations, large areas of green or yellow, but were at least 18 millimeters across. And lastly, non-marketable fruits could not be sold. These had major deformations, large areas of yellow or green, and were smaller than 18 millimeters across. Okay, now that we know the distinctions, let's look at Figure 1, where bee pollination fruits show a much higher commercial value as compared to other methods. Flowers pollinated by bees were much more likely to produce strawberries that meet the criteria that grocery stores and consumers alike expect. This is true not only for strawberries, but for crops such as coffee and blueberries, which also benefit from animal pollination in their shape and size. This indicates that the importance of bee pollination could be applied to the quality of a variety of consumer crops. This is a pressing current issue as human population increases rapidly with global food demand, requiring consistent quality and quantity of crops. Bjorn et al.'s results show that the economic benefits of bee pollination are higher than previously thought and require adequate support through agricultural management and policy. So there you go. That's why bees are more important than you might have thought, and why they need to be protected. Find us on social media at Conservation Made Simple, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for more Lucid Science.